November 4, Alpha, Bravo, Tango, over.
Yeah, you're clean. What's the name there?
Say again?
What's the name? What's your name?
Okay, the name is Cleve, Charlie, Lima, Echo, Victor, Echo. Cleve, QTH is Millington, Tennessee, just north of Memphis, over.
Roger, and what radio are you running, sir?
We've got an IC 7300 into an SB 200 linear, over.
Ah, roger that. Well, gosh, we need to fatten that 7300 up just a little bit. I don't know if you hear our suggestions, but the first thing would be to engage the compressor at about a 3. Get that compressor online at about a 3 level, roger.
Okay, I've got the little menu up here. Okay, compression is at a 3 now, over.
All right, and then go to your ALC, and with mic gain in hand, adjust your ALC to where you're running mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Okay, let me get the ALC meter up. Okay, adjust it to, it's adjusted so that I'm just hitting a 9, over.
Roger, roger. So how does that interpolate as far as the, you see the ALC meter reading there? Are you, towards the right-hand side there, around 2/3 of the run of that meter?
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking me here. Say again, please.
Alrighty, you've got your ALC meter up, and you'll notice that there's a line associated with your ALC meter, and all the way to the right-hand side would be 100%. So what you're looking for is a signal that is between mid-scale on that line to 2/3. Roger.
Okay, well, it goes the ALC. Let's see. Okay, I've got it up. Got it up to about 2/3 there right now, over.
Roger, yeah, and what you want to do is, as you speak, to set that level, you have your mic gain in hand, and then you just talk normally, not loud like you're going to set a level or anything, but just normally like you would normally talk, and then just bring your mic gain up to where that meter is running mid-scale to 2/3, Roger.
Okay, it's running about there now, over.
Roger, and so that's a 7300, Roger?
Yes, it is a 7300, over.
Roger, roger, using the stock hand mic?
Yes.
All righty, I would, do you know how to go to your treble and bass EQ?
Yes, I do.
Okay, this is transmit bass and treble EQ. Go to there, and I want you to set the treble EQ 2 dB hotter, 2 clicks hotter than what it is.
Tell me where I find those that setting quickly, over.
All right, it's down on the lower left-hand side of your meter. There's a button called multi.
Okay, that's multi is above my above and to the left of the tuning knob, over.
It should be to the left, bottom left of your display, called multi, Roger. Oh, I'm sorry, menu.
No, M-scope, quick and exit down there.
Sorry, menu. Temporary insanity, sir.
Okay, I've got the menu.
All right, and then what are your options?
One of them is set.
Go to menu set.
Yeah, go to menu set, and what it is, it'll take you to set, which takes you to tone control, which takes you to transmit, which takes you to sideband, and that should be your display for your bass and treble EQ.
Okay, I got it.
All right, and what is your current treble EQ?
Okay, it's set to a +1.
All right, just move that to a +2. Move that to a +2. And idea about working your microphone, you want to work that microphone to the side of your mouth. Do not work directly into it. Pull it to the side of your mouth and talk across it, but have it actually in contact with the side of your lips, Roger.
Okay, I've got it up to a +2, and I'm talking off to the side of it. Over.
Roger, I think we were adding 2. You were already at +1, so we were adding 2, so you should be at +3 on that.
Okay, I'm at +3.
All righty, and then what's your reading on the bass?
It's a +2.
All right, just out of curiosity, bring that up to a +3 on the bass. I'm looking at your signal on a spectrum analyzer, so well, let's see what we can do on the bottom end if you would be interested.
Okay, we're at +3 on both bass and treble now. Over.
Roger, I think that'll do. You're not real heavy in the bottom end, but you do have some representation there. I think overall the sound is very articulated. I don't think anyone will have trouble understanding what you're saying, Roger.
Okay, appreciate that.
Roger, and what antenna system are you running today, sir?
I'm running a 3-wire fan dipole about 30 feet off the ground. Over.
Roger that. Well, I'm copying your signal on 2 10-foot mag loop antennas running in the co-phase mode, and you're about 12 dB over my residual noise level, Roger.
Okay, it sounds like I'm getting out. I'm putting out about 300 watts peak. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Sounds good. Sounds good. You have a nice signal. I haven't run around the SDRs. Tell me the best thing you like about your radio, and I'll consult some of the SDRs and see what you're doing elsewhere.
Well, one of the things my previous radio was Kenwood TS440, and this one is light years ahead of the 440. Over.
Yeah, I'm currently evaluating the 7300 against our normal FT990, and I have a report somewhere. You know, it's like everything else. It's finding things that you aren't sure whether you should be. I do have a report on that. I'll do that. But sir, I think you're doing great, and I would say if you get a chance, check back in with us next Friday and let me know what you've been doing, Roger.
Okay, I'll do that. I guess if I had to single out one thing for the IC7300 that I like better than anything else, that would probably have to be the versatility of the display. I like the waterfall display, the way it works and what it shows, and I like the fact that I can do so many things from that display. Over.
Oh, Roger. Now, I mainly know the 7300 through the transmitter. We've probably set up about 180 7300s and about 50 some odd 7610s. And the neat part about those two radios is they just have an ideal limiter. I mean, that thing has practically no blow-by. It's like a stonewall limiter that once you get it adjusted, you just bring up the audio, push the limiter just a little bit to whatever fatness you want. I suggest a 3 dB level, and that means 80 to 85%, Roger.
Okay, well, that sounds good. I certainly appreciate your advice on this thing, and I will check back in. I hear you on Every once in a while, I'm not always on Friday afternoon, but I hear you on periodically, and I will check back in. Over.
Roger, Roger. 3Z Wayside. What was the name again?
Name is Cleve. Charlie Lima Echo Victor Echo. Over.
That's right, and you're in Tennessee, Roger?
Just north of Memphis, about 20 miles. A little town called Millington. Over.
Great, great. All right, sir, threes to you, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger.
Okay. I noticed on your QRZ page that you spent a little time on a 50,000-watt major station. That wouldn't be WLS, would it?
No, it's WHAS in Louisville, Roger.
Oh, okay, okay. I used to listen all the time when I was a teenager to a 50,000-watt station from Little Rock called KAAY. Over.
Roger, Roger. Not familiar with that station, but, those 50Ks do bang out for sure, Roger.
Yeah, my son lives in the shadow of the tower of what's the big 50,000-watt station in Nashville? Over.
Well, it's WSM and WLAC.
WSM, the one with the big, with the pointy-end tower. It's fat in the middle and skinny on both ends. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it's really funny. They are the country music station in the country music capital, but years past, they were in the daytime. They were MOR, middle of the road music, not country. But when it got night, then that's when they would start country, and I guess to be good for their label, they decided to do that full time. So they are known as the country music station in the country music capital. Roger.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, it's been nice talking to you this afternoon, James, and I'll check back in with you on another Friday afternoon. Over.
Roger, Roger, Charlie. 3Z Way, sir. You have a good afternoon. This is KC9VKV. And so the AB receiver test comparison between our classic modified Yaesu FT990 and a current digital ICOM 7300 continues. I think we're about in our fourth or fifth week. So without further ado, here is Adventures in Radioland. This segment, second report, ICOM 7300 versus Yaesu FT990. And first, I'll reiterate, this is not an official technological sanctioned AB test between the ICOM 7300 and our classic 35-year-old Yaesu FT990. It is, however, an operator's impressions after having run both radios for a month or so on a 6-position rotary switch along with 4 Internet SDR receivers. To begin with, this part of the AB test is a receiver-only evaluation, and to that end, I made sure the 7300 receiver was in as flat a receive mode as possible. The receive audio EQ was set to flat. The receive filter was set to the number 1 position, which is the least filtered position on the 7300 receiver. And the bandpass was set to 100 to 2900. Also, the noise blanker and noise reduction controls were set to off, as well as the preamp gain was set to 1, which is the off mode for that, and serves as the antenna attenuate. All that being said, it was obvious from the beginning the 7300 had a much better audio frequency response curve than the FT990, in spite of the fact that the Yaesu FT990 receiver has been modified to extend its low and top-end audio frequency response. But again, when I switched from the 990 to the 7300, receiving the same signal, there was a decided, noticeable difference in the top and bottom end audio performance of the 7300. This was demonstrated many times on my Shack Set Spectrum Analyzer. In my estimation, the 7300 represents a new standard in HF radio audio frequency response. This was most noticeable when listening on a full-range external monitoring system. Since there were two antenna systems involved, there was quite a bit of give and take regarding sensitivity and selectivity, so we have no definite evaluations in that regard at this time. I will say it was really nice having a second opinion to consult and select from. And we'll probably continue our AB receiver comparisons for the next few weeks and then move on to the AB transmit test, and we'll have more on that later. This is KC9VKV and the Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.